You're watching FARC Racing on OEN. We will not take any responsibility for any satanic messages you may find hidden in our programming. FARC Racing on OEN is brought to you by Amish Telecommunications and by Stuart Forget It. Taking the Marlisle pole for 50-50 sprint number 1 would be Cade Taylor for Luke Star Motorsports, his first career pole. Seiji Daiho on the outside of the front row pulls even with the 125 coming to the line, but Taylor starts to nose ahead, coming out of the tri-oval with a little bit of a push from the 09 of Chris Johans, Anthony Griffith, and the 07, also providing support on the inside. Cade Taylor now pulls ahead, but Johans gives him a bump, almost turns the 125 around. A sketchy moment for Cade Taylor on the first lap of this race. Libby Bell on the inside trying to make it 4 wide. Chris Johans on the outside wisely backs off. We all saw how well 4 wide worked out in the All-Star last night, as Libby Bell challenges for 3rd place. Derek Dudding in the 68, also trying 4 wide. That brand new Sar Eagle still very fast as Dudding challenges for 3rd place. That's Harmony Pettinger in the 66 on the outside of Dudding with a very good start to this race. And here comes Nanami Miura in the 39 with a charge, Dudding surprisingly giving her room. Bob Steffens hooked into the wall by Seiji Daiho on lap 7. The first Vicker collision and glass caution of the night is out on lap 7. And here comes Ryan Barrett smashing into the back of the 7 car. Barrett not paying any attention at all. It's not like he had a ton of racetrack up on the high side. We had a second incident as these guys were trying to get away from that first wreck. Libby Bell and Tanner Clayson in the wall, along with Joel Rodriguez and Rachel Rainsford. And then getting away from that second incident, Caitlin Richler gets into the back of Taylor Brillen and puts both of them into the wall. And that's going to be another race that Taylor Brillen fails to finish. She currently leads the series in DNFs alongside Zach Webster. Cade Taylor continues to lead on the restart. Chris Johans in 2nd. That is Julia Ashcroft in car 251 in 3rd. Lucas Sweeney drops to the apron with a mechanical problem on lap 16. Sweeney will drop out of the race from 9th. Cade Taylor leads over Ben Atkins, but the field comes up on Atkins' teammate, Caitlin Richler. Chris Johans comes charging up the inside, but then Richler moves down to block the inside, allowing Taylor to get away. Atkins up to 2nd now, Zach Webster 3rd. However, nobody was able to touch Cade Taylor for this entire race. I do not remember the last time anybody led flag to flag here in a super speedway race, but Cade Taylor is going to do it tonight as he takes his first career FARC Elite Series victory. And this is going to do a lot of good for the young Canadians' Rookie of the Year hopes. You see Zach Webster coming home 2nd. He actually finishes a race for once. And when he finishes, he tends to finish well. Zach Webster tying his best career finish. Tommy Ashby, another rookie, coming home 3rd. John Hawkes, another one of those guys who finished a race for once, coming home 4th. Julia Ashcroft 5th. Ben Atkins 6th. Chris Johans, his first FARC start of the year, coming home 7th. Nanami Miura 8th. Aoi Mitsushima grabs the high climber bonus. Harmony Pettinger in 10th place in her first start in a points race. Derek Dudding comes home 11th. I believe that's his best career finish. Say what you want about the fuel spill fans, but you have to give them this. They came together and have been doing a lot of good for Dudding and that small team. Moving on to sprint number 2, where Tammy Barnton sits on the Marlisle pole. Ryan Matthews 2nd in points on her outside. Tammy Barnton won the rookie shootout and the Smash Beer 500, but she's generally struggled ever since. She's looking to bounce back tonight on her what seems to be her favorite type of track, the ones that you don't have to lift your foot off the throttle for. But Barnton is going to be shuffled out of line by Lauren Spur with a bit of a push from Todd Stater. Stater now on the inside going for the lead. That's Jeremy Baker in the 36. Right behind him, Jeremy Baker not running all the races in the FARC Elite Series. He's focusing on the Truck Series Championship, but it's safe to say that Baker has been much faster in his Elite Series runs. Looking at Leslie Riggs in the 64, the All-Star winner gets hooked by Robert Nelson through turn 4. Big pile up at the exit of 4. Several cars involved, including the defending series champion Joseph Howard. Kerry Inns, the 29. Also involved the Spannerhead racing car, the car that Robert Nelson used to drive as Kevin Monroe, trying to get back up onto the track, not really paying attention, and creates a second incident. You saw Kurt Walker in the 98 also in the wall. Walker making his first start. Scott Dallas not paying any attention, neither is Makoto Yamada, as they pile into the 63 who was trying to drive away. Yamada's gonna take himself out with that bit of brain fade. This wreck was much, much longer than it should have been. Tammy Barton going after the lead once again on the restart. Todd Stater and Lawrence Burr hooked up on the outside. Tom Delgado almost turned by Harry Asinola. Scary moment for Delgado, but he quickly gets that car together and is trying to merge safely back onto the track. Tom Delgado demonstrating a very valuable lesson in racing, namely being aware of your surroundings. Laura Ocean making it 4 wide for the lead with Kelly Posadas. Contact between Posadas and Tammy Barton. Fortunately, that was not a big crash, but Laura Ocean is going to move into the race lead here on lap 9. Luckily for her, relatively guilt-free, because we got more 4 wide right behind her. Jeremy Baker trying to make something happen on the inside, and he gets turned by Ashley Tucker. Tucker, really no room for her at all. Baker, Posadas, and Neil Miller into the wall. Rip Tyler almost piling in. Robert Nelson smashes into the 72 of Jared Pierce as Maury Holter clobbers the 36. Jeremy Baker's had a couple hard hits this season already, as Robert Nelson not paying any attention to his surroundings and smashes right into the back of the 72. J.W. Lester involved, he's out. Carrie Inn's involved in another one. Laura Ocean leads on the restart over Jesus Ignacio Chavez III in the 35 Fernando's chicken car, but Harry Asinola comes charging down the inside. He's going to take over second place. Billy Ray Smith-Thompson in the 42 hooks the 99 of Zachary Zins. Thompson very hard into that inside wall. Tucker up and over, and she gets hit by Jim Hayes. Chavez in the 35 also involved. Tucker sliding down the track and right in front of Chavez. That's going to take Chavez out as well. That was a couple of very, very nasty hits for Billy Ray Smith-Thompson and Ashley Tucker. Ashley Tucker got a bit luckier. She was already on her side when she hit the wall. There was a lot of concern for Smith-Thompson and Ashley Tucker, especially for Smith-Thompson, who was taken straight to the helicopter and airlifted to the hospital. Ashley Tucker was alert and working with the medical team, so we can breathe a bit easier for her. The race was restarted with 3 laps to go. Laura Ocean getting a gap over Gabriel Messina in the 238. Nick Azure, car 46, in 3rd place. And here comes Tom Delgado with a run on Gabriel Messina on the last lap. Of course, Tom Delgado married to Ashley Tucker, so he's not... I don't think he's going to be too concerned about his results tonight. He's going to want to finish this race as soon as possible and go check up on her. But he's still showing that drive in his home race as he gets on the inside of Gabriel Messina for second. But Laura Ocean leads the field off at turn 4, and to the checkered flag, Laura Ocean takes her first career win. After a season of struggles, something good finally happens to Laura Ocean, and this is going to do her Rookie of the Year bid a lot of good as well. Tom Delgado coming home second. Vincenzo Focusato also got by Gabriel Messina on the final lap. Focusato grabs the high climber bonus after starting all the way back in 30th. Kurt Walker, his first start of the year, he comes home 5th. Nick Azure 6th, Harry Asinola 7th. Ryan Matthews in 8th. He came into this race trailing Laura Cyrus by 99 points. So, Laura Cyrus finished 16th in Sprint 1, so Matthews gains a few points on her. And how about Cletus McGuffey in 14th and Tom Brayton 20th? Those two guys were running too far behind to get caught up in any of the huge crashes that we had, and so they came in and picked up the pieces. Good for them, I guess. Moving on to the feature event, the Epps Premium Synthetic Oil 200. Vincenzo Focusato took the Marlisle pole, but all eyes are on Derek Dudding on the outside of the front row. I'm sure that's got to be nerve-wracking for all the people behind him, and Vincenzo Focusato is not going to mess around. He smashes on the gas and takes off. He's going to be followed into turn 1 by Cade Taylor and Megan Driver. Tommy Ashby, after his 3rd place finish last night, is going to be hooked by Kiki Itsuno into the wall off of turn 2. Laura Ocean is involved. Caden Beckett in the 18 and Ben Adkins in the 93. Caden Beckett piled into both the 4 and the 97. Beckett and the Racem team grabbed the final transfer spot in their sprint last night, but they're not going to be able to make much use of that as Tom Brayton piles into the smoking alley rigs for some reason. The field pitted under that caution, and Vincenzo Focusato lost the lead to Zach Webster, but Focusato wants it back, dropping to the inside in turn 1. Tammy Barton and Gabriel Messina, 3rd and 4th. As the field lines up and tries to freight train Zach Webster. Ryan Matthews has a problem after the restart. The team thought it was a tire going down, but it was much, much worse, and Ryan Matthews is going to have to drop out of the race. Mo Lester and Julia Ashcroft duel for the lead. Rip Tyler on the inside, making it 3 wide. We've got a lot more shuffling going on at the front of the field than we saw in the sprints. Mo Lester now caught in the middle and falling behind Tyler and Ashcroft. Zachary Zins has a problem, tries to hit the apron, but then shoots back up into the path of Nick Azure. Tom Brayton almost wipes him out right there. And Zachary Zins will park that car on the inside and bring out another Vickers collision and glass caution. Jason Bates grabbed the lead during pit stops. Gabriel Messina and Tammy Barnton duel for second behind him, and we see Ryan Griffin fourth. Good job for him so far. Ashcroft is turned by Megan Driver into the wall, right in the path of Kurt Walker. Nowhere for Walker to go. Vickers collision and glass caution out again right after the restart. Jason Bates leads the field down pit road, but the Smash Beer crew discovers a terminal failure on the 2 car. Jason Bates drops out. Scott Dollett stayed out of the pits and grabbed the lead, but he's got a problem with that 717 Lennard. I think he may have dropped a cylinder, and he's very slow at the start. Tammy Barnton got around him for the lead, but now he's going to be holding up everyone behind him. He apparently wants to keep that gaudy car in everyone's sights as long as possible. Tom Delgado in the pit lane with a cut tire, and a few other cars are going to be coming in with cut tires as well. Aoi Mitsushima and Kerry Ians. I wonder if some of these guys ran over some debris under that caution that the track officials had missed. Kelly Splicen, Ben Atkins, and Harry Estanola also pitted. And they are all now in danger of going a lap down. Rip Tyler now leads, and Tom Delgado doesn't want to go a lap down, especially not in his home race. And right in front of him you see Mitsushima, Enola, Atkins, and Ians also in danger of going a lap down. Rip Tyler looking to the high side of Tom Delgado, but Tammy Barnton takes advantage. And the leaders have quite a mess on their hands right now. All these cars trying to stay on the lead lap. Vincenzo Focusato in the white 38 Lennard going for the lead. Focusato, the truck driver, able to pick his way through the lapped cars a bit better than anyone else at the moment. Leslie Riggs and Rip Tyler follow him on the inside as Tammy Barnton gets stuck behind Enola. Ben Atkins back into the pit lane with more problems on that 93 car. Cletus McGuffey in the 54 Stelling Country Draft car for Team Burr, demonstrating that his advancement into tonight's race was totally a fluke, as he is extremely slow and is now going a lap down and getting in the way. His teammate Derek Dudding, on the other hand, is dueling for 11th place with Harmony Pettinger at the moment. I don't think Dudding had ever gone 190 miles an hour in his life before this race, but that car has been an incredible gift to him and Team Burr, and he's going to be doing a lot of good with it, at least until he wrecks it or it blows up. The former, I think, is more likely. Ben Atkins in the 93 Ricky and Lewis's Lennard is running a couple laps down at this point, and he's demonstrating how to be the best teammate in the world by holding up Tammy Barnton. Rip Tyler in the 24 currently holds the lead, and he is getting away from the field. However, when the rest of the leaders get by these lapped cars, they're going to reel him in pretty quickly. Gabriel Messina gets into the back of Tammy Barnton, turns her and Laura Cyrus into the wall. Cyrus hit that wall pretty hard. Zach Webster nowhere to go as Tammy Barnton came down in his path. Tom Delgado piling into the 83, and that's a huge crash off of turn 4 as several cars continue to pile in. Tom Delgado committed to the apron, but Barnton was right there. Here comes the rest of the field. Miura smashes into the side of the 37, sends both those cars flying. Fortunately, that was only the passenger side of the 37 that she hit. Looking at Nanami Miura right now, not really sure what she was doing. She really should have seen that 37 there. And there's Derek Dunning, who piled into that wreck and has now written off that brand new Sar Eagle. I figured he was going to wreck that car, but that was actually not completely his fault. Derek Dunning smashes into the side of Laura Cyrus, the points leader coming into this race, and he's going to come to a rest next to the 39 of Nanami Miura. Fortunately, all drivers were able to climb from their cars. There were quite a few hard hits in that wreck, especially for Dudding, Cyrus, Miura, and Delgado. It's good to see them up and about, especially after the events of last night. Monica Rook led on the restart. Tom Brayton restarted in 7th place. So far tonight, Brayton has avoided being lapped and has stayed out of trouble. He's going backwards at the moment, but if cars continue to drop out of the race, then the racing team might actually have a good day. He's now trying to get by the lapped car of Cleese McGuffey. Oh, McGuffey into the side of the 100. I jinxed that. The Vickers Collision Glass caution is out once again as Tom Brayton tries to limp that 100 car away after what was a very promising run for him and the racing team. Kerry Eanes has been racing to try to get his lap back, and coming to the caution, he beat the leaders to the line, so he will come all the way back around and join the tail end of the lead lap. Kerry Eanes currently being scored in 17th as Rick Tyler leads on the restart. Harry Asinola and Kelly Splicen still running lap down. Ryan Griffin in the 86 is in second place. It's been a good, clean run for Ryan Griffin so far. One of his more infamous moments in his racing career came at this track when he caused a huge crash in the TM Lights race and got his license revoked. And what does Kerry Eanes do with this opportunity now that he's back on the lead lap? He causes a wreck. Kurt Walker, Chris Johans, Cletus McGuffey, and Nick Asher all involved. A big round of applause for Kerry Eanes, the 40-year-old Australian rookie. Kelly Splicen beat the field to the caution, and so she will come back around and join the tail end of the lead lap. Hopefully she won't cause a caution on this next restart, but Scott Dalitz might, as he stays out of the pit lane once again and takes over the lead, and he's still very slow. Ryan Griffin in the 86 now going for the race lead as there is contact back there between Monica Rook and Alex Witt. Let's try to get a few green flag laps in. There aren't many of you left out there, so let's try to not make it any worse. The lead is still changing hands very often, unlike last night. Rick Tyler now leads over Cade Taylor, who's currently charging past on the inside with some help from Gabriel Messina and Vincenzo Focusato. Rick Tyler, the 2012 champion, got his first win of the season at Albuquerque a couple weeks ago. He changed his car number coming into the season from 16 to 24. His team, Sergio Power Incorporated, called it his battle cry for this season. He lost last year's championship by 2 inches and 4 points. Gabriel Messina now shuffles into the lead. He's got a few lapped cars, padding the gap between himself and second place Ryan Griffin. The Messinas are a very wealthy Brazilian family, and there was no starting small for them when they entered FARC this season. They purchased a huge fleet of cars and entered all 4 of the FARC touring divisions. I wonder if they were expecting instant success, as they haven't, and Gabriel has been voicing a lot of complaints about the team's struggles this season. Jessica Graham and Harmony Pettinger have fallen behind the field, and here they are dueling for 11th place. Pettinger is running her first FARC points races this weekend, and Jessica Graham is looking to actually finish a race for once. Nick Asher and Kurt Walker have also fallen behind due to the damage that they have received. The hood is missing on that 46 car, but he's hanging on to 14th place. Kurt Walker trying to put the pressure on him for that position. 14th place, not very glamorous, but you gotta take what you can get. Alex Witt gets into the back of the 86 of Ryan Griffin, puts the 86 into the wall and on his side. John Hawkes bounces off the wall and back across the racetrack. Griffin and Hawkes had a couple of very good runs going, and they've needed those runs, but now it's gone sour for them as Alex Witt has had a few problems with running into other people tonight. Rick Tyler out of the race with a blown engine from the lead. Gabriel Messina battles with Monica Rook for the lead after the restart. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the drivers that are really high up in the point standings are out of the race at this point. And now as we approach the end of this race, a lot of the guys still running have an opportunity to get a good result and get themselves up there. Monica Rook now finds herself in the lead. Gabriel Messina diving low into turn 3. Monica Rook is running a few races this year for Big Mac Racing, and she's been very fast in her few appearances. Big Mac Racing got their first FARC win with Makoto Yamada at Columbia, as Harry Asinola now blows his engine. He's out of the race from 14th place, even though he was running a lap down. All of these lapped cars have been a headache for the leaders to maneuver around tonight, but as we saw with Kerry Eanes and Kelly Splicen, they've been racing to try to get themselves back on the lead lap. Harry Asinola's engine exploding caused the cars in the back half of this front pack to check up, and that has allowed Monica Rook, Gabriel Messina, Cade Taylor, and Vincenzo Focusato to get away. Cade Taylor is the only driver in this group with a win in this series, and of course that came in the sprints last night. However, the leaders now come to lap John Hawkes, who has fallen off the pace due to that damage he received in the wreck with Ryan Griffin and Alex Witt. and he's not making life very easy for the leaders. He's probably a bit sour over having such a good run of his ruined, but he's still running in 13th place. Alex Witt and Kurt Walker now starting to form a roadblock. Monica Rook finds her way to the inside and takes over the lead once again. Gabriel Messina will follow through to second as Witt and Walker hold up Focusato and Taylor. As we approach 15 laps to go, the interference from these lapped cars may be giving this second group an advantage. The second pack, led by Kelly Splicen and Harmony Pettinger. Aoi Mitsushima in the 264 is still running a lap down, and these guys are catching the leaders, so we might have more than a 4-car battle for the win on our hands. Nick Asher now getting in the way. Focusato escapes with the lead as Asher in the 46 holds up Monica Rook, and here comes Kelly Splicen looking to join this battle. Harmony Pettinger in the 66 car follows. Megan Driver in that 40 car back there is running a lap down as well. Monica Rook and Gabriel Messina battle for the lead again. These two must have a magnetic attraction, but Aoi Mitsushima in the 264 giving Monica Rook a bit of draft and being the best teammate in the world by pushing her right past Gabriel Messina. But it also helps that Scott Dalitz in the 717 is getting in the way. Dalitz finally going a lap down after struggling with that car all night. Harmony Pettinger up to second now. Cade Taylor and Gabriel Messina right behind her. Harmony Pettinger with a shot to win in her second FARC Elite Series start. I believe that team has some connections with Matthews Motorsports and is purchasing equipment from them. Pettinger moves into second, but she would soon be shuffled out of line, along with Gabriel Messina. Messina into the back of the 66. Megan Driver, the 40, involved with just 10 laps to go. The Victor Collision and Glass Caution is out once again. Here come a couple other cars. Todd Stater and Jessica Graham very hard into the side of the 40 car. Jessica Graham was following Todd Stater onto the apron and through the smoke. Then you saw Todd Stater clip the 238. And Megan Driver popped into Graham's view from there. That was a very nasty hit, about 170 miles an hour, directly into the driver's side door of that 40. Megan Driver's going to try to reverse the car, get it going again, and there's the 59. She did not see her coming at all. Driver had to be cut from the car, and a helicopter was on the scene to take her to the hospital immediately. They bypassed the infield care center. We do not know Megan Driver's condition at this time, but it is a very serious situation down in Turn 4. The officials decided to end the race early. Lap 83 of 89. Monica Rook, leading at the time, was declared the winner. This is Rook's first victory in the FARC Elite Series. Pretty sure that's not how she wanted it to be, though. Monica Rook started all the way back from 31st, and so she grabbed the high climber bonus. Vincenzo Focusato, the pole sitter, in second place. I believe that's his best career finish. Kelly Splicen, teammate to Megan Driver, came back from a lap down to finish third. Harmony Pettinger coming home fifth in her first weekend, and Pettinger was the last car to finish on the lead lap. 11 cars finished the race overall. So a lot of these guys who went a lap down stayed out of further trouble and grabbed some pretty good results. And even some of the guys who went out of the race got some good results as well, such as Harry Asinola and Rip Tyler, who led the most laps. And now looking at the point standings, Laura Cyrus still leads by 97 points over Ryan Matthews and 144 back to Jim Hayes. Cyrus and Matthews failed to finish tonight. Hayes didn't even make it to the feature. Kiki Hitsuno moves up to 4th place, despite going out pretty early. Harry Asinola also went out of the race, but he moves all the way up into 5th. A lot of people towards the top of the standings either failed to finish or didn't make it into the feature, and as a result, they have fallen through the standings. Libby Bell, Leslie Riggs, and Michael Madrigal now find themselves out of the top 10. Monica Rook vaults to 14th place with her victory, and Cade Taylor, with his victory and 4th place finish, moves all the way up into 16th. And Ryan Griffin in the 86 Fright Durban now finds himself in the top 20. Reed Bullitt still leads the Rookie of the Year standings over Vincenzo Focusato, and I've heard some buzz that James Hewitt and Bobby Stewart will be officially disqualified from the Rookie of the Year battle. The officials are deciding that these two are not serious efforts. Cade Taylor made some very big gains. Jeremy Baker and Tanner Clayson have fallen a little bit. Mo Lester moved up a couple of positions. So have Robert Nelson and Tammy Barnton. Jared Pierce and Neil Miller are a couple other people who fell back. And Laura Ocean, with her win, moves into the top 20.